December 26, 2023, News Report 1. With only 19 days left until the Taiwan presidential election, the three presidential candidates held their second televised policy debate on the afternoon of December 26. Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, presidential candidate, Lai Ching-te, accused the Kuomintang, KMT, of bringing three major disasters to Taiwan, insisting on a One China spiritual leader, colluding with gangs, and maintaining the essence of election corruption. Lai questioned whether the KMT was still following the rooting in Taiwan route set by former President Chiang Ching-kuo. He argued that supporting Ho Yui was equivalent to supporting Ma Ying-jeou, effectively reviving the One China force, which would be detrimental to Taiwan's development. KMT presidential candidate Ho Yui continued to criticize the Democratic Progressive Party's, DPP, governance, blaming it for the deterioration of cross-strait relations. He claimed that the DPP failed to communicate and coordinate with China on agricultural product quarantine issues, harming the interests of Taiwanese farmers and fishermen. Ho also mentioned the decline in Taiwan's tourism industry under the DPP's rule and urged Lai Ching-te to reconsider the pro-independence stance, emphasizing the need for a rational approach to cross-strait relations. Following directives from China's Taiwan Affairs Office, Ho Yui continued to attack pro-independence directions. People's Party presidential candidate Ko Wen-jae criticized both the DPP and the KMT for lacking long-term planning. He called for the establishment of economic security legislation to safeguard Taiwan's critical infrastructure and essential supplies. Ko emphasized the importance of formulating economic security measures based on the international situation and proposed the creation of an Economic Security Council. Ko believed that the two major parties often engaged in short-sighted actions and lacked foresight. In addition, China announced through Xiamen Customs that it would increase the limit of Taiwan sorghum liquor that travelers can carry from 4 to 6 bottles per person. This policy was interpreted as an attempt by China to attract votes from the blue camp in Kinmen County, demonstrating China's intervention in Taiwan's elections. The latest polls show support rates of 35.9% for Lai Ching-te and 27.6% for Ho Yui, with a gap of 8.3% between the two. As the Taiwan election enters a tense phase, voters face a crucial choice. News Report 2, December 26, 2023. In the early hours of December 26, the Ukrainian Air Force announced the destruction of the Russian Black Sea Fleet's landing ship Sycherkassk in Crimea. Sycherkassk was anchored at the Odessa port in southern Crimea and equipped with Iranian drones for Ukraine's war. The Ukrainian Air Force used tactical cruise missiles to launch an airstrike, successfully destroying the Sycherkassk. Videos showed multiple intense explosions at the Odessa port, burning until daybreak. Odessa port is a major military base for Russia in the Black Sea, and the Russian Black Sea Fleet originally had 4 landing ships. Ukraine has successfully destroyed 3 of them, with Sycherkassk being the latest. Currently, the Russian Black Sea Fleet has only 1 landing ship remaining. It is noteworthy that in April of the previous year, the Ukrainian military sank the flagship Moscow of the Russian Black Sea Fleet in Crimea. This incident led to the Russian Black Sea Fleet avoiding staying near Crimea to prevent further attacks. News Report 3, December 26, 2023. According to the Axios news website, Israel's Minister of Strategic Affairs, Dima, is planning to visit the United States before December 26 for discussions with U.S. National Security Advisor Sullivan, Secretary of State Blinken, and members of Congress on how to end the current conflict. Dima, a former Israeli ambassador to the U.S. and a confidant of Prime Minister Netanyahu, will discuss how Israel can reduce the scale of the war, transition to a low-intensity war by the end of January next year, and effectively manage the Gaza Strip during the transition period. The U.S. government has expressed its hope for the Palestinian Authority to manage the Gaza Strip, but Netanyahu has rejected the idea. However, in recent weeks, Israeli officials, including DEMA, have begun discussions with U.S. officials on reforming the management of the Palestinian Authority in the Gaza Strip. In addition, in an article published on December 25 in the Wall Street Journal, Netanyahu proposed 3 conditions for peaceful coexistence between Israel and Palestine: the elimination of Hamas, demilitarization of Gaza, and the de-radicalization of Palestinian society. He argued that to achieve demilitarization, a temporary security zone must be established around Gaza. News Report 4. Huron Research Institute has released a report on the cash flow management of high-net-worth families in China. The report reveals that there are 5 million affluent families in China with a net worth of 6 million renminbi, and among them, 2.11 million households have a net worth of 10 million renminbi, while 138,000 households have a net worth of 100 million renminbi. Guangdong has the highest number of high-net-worth families, reaching 300,000 households, while Beijing and Shanghai have 300,000 and 270,000 households, respectively. The report further indicates that among high-net-worth families, entrepreneurs dominate, with private enterprise owners accounting for 52%. Their assets make up 54% of the total wealth. These entrepreneurs typically hold 3.2 million in cash, along with securities, valuable securities, and real estate worth over 5.6 million. However, the report also highlights the severity of wealth inequality in China. Another report from a Chinese enterprise indicates that China's total wealth is 79 trillion, with the state-owned government holding 36 trillion, while the top 1% of the wealthy hold 46 trillion. Among the 1 billion population, nearly 100 million middle-class individuals possess a wealth of 11 trillion, constituting 3.79% of the total societal wealth. This underscores the significant poverty within China, with 900 million people earning less than 2,000 yuan per month. The report has sparked concerns about wealth inequality, prompting calls for attention to social fairness and wealth distribution. News Report 5. China National Petroleum Corporation, CNPC, and China National Offshore Oil Corporation, CNOOC, announced the cessation of their participation in the Russian Arctic Liquefied Natural Gas, LNG, 2 project and relinquished their financing and procurement contract responsibilities for the Russian LNG plant. CNPC and CNOOC each held a 10% stake in the Arctic LNG 2 project. After their withdrawal, the project lost a major Chinese shareholder, and the main shareholder, Novatek, will need to secure independent financing. The main reason for CNPC and CNOOC's withdrawal is primarily due to the impact of U.S. sanctions. The U.S. Treasury Department announced sanctions on the Arctic LNG 2 project in November. Because of these sanctions, CNPC and CNOOC had to withdraw to avoid further repercussions from the United States. The sanctions on the project by the U.S. will also pose challenges for other potential buyers. The initial investment in the Arctic LNG 2 project was $21 billion, making it a crucial project for Russia's liquefied natural gas exports. However, after Western sanctions against Russia following the invasion of Ukraine, the project faced significant challenges. Novatek is one of Russia's largest natural gas companies, and they originally hoped that CNPC and CNOOC could assist in purchasing liquefied natural gas. However, due to the sanctions, this plan became extremely difficult. This decision to withdraw has left the Arctic LNG 2 project in a difficult situation, highlighting the significant impact of international political factors on energy projects. News Report 6. The Office of the U.S. Trade Representative announced the extension of the tariff exemption period for 429 Chinese products until May 31 next year. The tariff exemption, originally set to expire at the end of this year, covers various industrial components, including electric motors, automotive components, chemicals, bicycles, vacuum cleaners, masks, gloves, disinfectant wipes, and medical products. This decision aims to avoid inflationary effects on U.S. consumers and ensure a stable supply in the U.S. market. The extension of tariff exemptions reflects the flexibility of the U.S. government in its trade policy. For critical industrial and medical products, the U.S. chose to extend the exemption period to safeguard domestic demand and stabilize the market. This also indicates that the economic and trade relations between the U.S. and China are still influenced to a certain extent by global supply chains and market demands. As the global economy evolves, adjustments in trade policies by various countries will continue to attract attention. News Report 7. People's Daily reports that China's National Bureau of Statistics will initiate the 5th National Economic Census on January 1 next year. This is the first comprehensive census of China's economy since 2019, aimed at conducting a thorough examination and central inventory of the country's economic situation. The director of the National Bureau of Statistics, Kang Yi, stated that the purpose of this economic census is to understand economic development, grasp changes in economic volume and structure over the past 5 years, and take more precise and effective policy measures to promote high-quality development. The economic census will involve 2.1 million census takers and census guides conducting door-to-door investigations and data verification. This census will comprehensively investigate the development scale, layout, and benefits of the secondary and tertiary industries and initiate input-output surveys for the first time. The census aims to provide the government with more accurate economic data to help formulate policies that align with the actual situation and promote high-quality development of the Chinese economy. This is the first comprehensive economic census since the 20th National Congress of the Communist Party of China. News Report 8. On December 26, the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced sanctions against the U.S. intelligence data company Karen and its director, Su Meng, as well as the former researcher at the U.S. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, Margaret. The sanctions were imposed because Karen had been collecting sensitive information in Xinjiang for an extended period, providing a basis for the U.S. sanctions against China. The measures include freezing Karen and Su Meng and Margaret's assets within China, prohibiting transactions and cooperation with Chinese organizations, individuals, Karen, and these two individuals, and preventing them from entering China. This move is seen as a response to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's announcement on December 8, which added China's sugar Sichuan Industry by Vita Group and Anhui Xin Asia New Material to the entity list, prohibiting the import of their goods due to allegations of using forced Uyghur labor. The sanctions demonstrate China's retaliatory position regarding sanctions related to China. News Report 9. Bangkok Post reports that an accident occurred on the Pink Line metro in Bangkok, a Belt and Road Initiative project, in the early morning of December 24. A section of wire on the current collecting trolley head of the metro line suddenly detached, damaging 3 cars and a motorcycle, fortunately causing no casualties. The Pink Line metro runs entirely on an elevated track, with the current collecting trolley typically installed between or outside the 2 tracks. After this accident, the detachment of the current collecting trolley led to traffic chaos, prompting the temporary closure of 7 stations for inspection. The Pink Line metro is 34.5 kilometers long, connecting 8 districts in Nonthaburi province to Mueang Nonthaburi district in Bangkok, with a total of 30 stations. The metro project is a cooperation project under China's Belt and Road Initiative, with trains produced by China Railway Rolling Stock Corporation, CRRC. However, the incident has raised questions about the quality of the project, as the detachment of the current collecting trolley poses significant safety risks to surrounding traffic and the public. The preliminary cause of the accident is believed to be the loosening of concrete securing the running track rail, causing the trolley to detach. The Thai Ministry of Transport stated that 7 stations have been closed for a comprehensive inspection to ensure safety. News Report 10. Daily Economic News reports that the Shanghai Stock Exchange, Shenzhen Stock Exchange, and Beijing Stock Exchange have announced the market closure schedule for the stock market during the Spring Festival next year. On February 9, the New Year's Eve, the Chinese stock market will be closed. Afterward, the three major exchanges will be closed from February 9th to February 17th, a total of 9 days. As February 18th is a Sunday, the stock market will not open, and trading in the Chinese stock market will resume on February 19th. Previously, the State Council announced that the Spring Festival holiday would be from February 10th to February 17th, with an 8-day break and a make-up day for a total of 4 days off. However, due to the New Year's Eve not being a day off on February 9th and February 18th being a working day, the adjustment resulted in a continuous 7-day break during the Spring Festival. This change has sparked some controversy, with some netizens expressing dissatisfaction with the decision not to have a day off on New Year's Eve during the Spring Festival. Some believe that this adjustment makes it difficult for people working away from home to arrange a New Year's Eve dinner and family reunion, questioning the decision. News Report 11. Asahi Shimbun reports that the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department has decided to revise the rules for the written exam for professional driver's licenses, allowing candidates to take the test in 2 foreign languages, including Chinese and English. This change aims to address the shortage of taxi and bus drivers in Japan. Japan's driver's license exams are mainly divided into 2 types, regular licenses and commercial licenses. The focus of this change is on the written test content for commercial licenses, including traffic regulations and passenger safety. In the past, these exams could only be conducted in Japanese, making it challenging for foreigners to pass. However, due to the current shortage of professional drivers in Japan, transportation groups suggested to the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department to allow candidates to use foreign languages, enabling more foreigners to pass the exams. It is understood that the annual income of a Japanese taxi driver is 3.78 million yen, approximately equivalent to 240,000 renminbi, and the annual income of an ordinary truck driver is 3.6 million yen, about 180,000 renminbi. This change is expected to allow more foreigners to participate in Japan's professional driver industry.